Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today's video is more like a life update, but then also a motivation for you to get started on your qualification if you haven't already. So I just wanted to brainstorm with you on the certifications that I have in mind that I want to cover this year. If you haven't figured by now, I am a certification queen of certifications. So maybe you probably came across my channel because of ACCA or CISA, or it could be this is your first video, which is great. So make sure to check out my playlists. So I have, around this time last year, I qualified for ACCA, which was all self-study. I qualified for CISA around Easter time last year. I also did AWS Cloud Practitioner. And that's just a few of the many certifications that I have. I have ITIL Foundation that I did a couple of years back. I also have COBIT Foundation. And if you'd like to find out more about those certifications, I'll make sure to put a link in the description section, just so that you can check them out and see if that's something that you think will help you in your career path. So the reasons why I do certifications, and I should probably start there. I do them because I love learning, and honestly, if I was having my dream job right now, I'd probably be a professional student. And it's just that it doesn't pay, but I like learning new things. So it's just something that really helps me remain challenged. I feel challenged getting to know new things. But outside my own personal passion for learning, what I've seen, like the reasons why many people do certifications, firstly, is to boost your career. That's the main thing. We'd be lying if we said that, many people are doing certifications because they just love learning, unlike me. But the reasons why many people do it is to legitimize the experience. Because remember, where you are right now, like wherever you're working, those people know you. You've created a certain reputation with them, maybe a reputation of reliability, etc. Things that are not tangible, but they know you. But if you want to leave that company, what is it that you would be able to use to pitch yourself for the best offer, for the best position? They look at, yes, there's what you say verbally during an interview, but what helps legitimize your CV are things like certifications. Degrees no longer a big thing. So many people have degrees. So on top of that, how have you remained relevant with, like, how have you kept up with the trends? What proves that you know what you're talking about? And that's where certifications come in. Another thing is also just to increase your salary. So it could be you're in the same role, you're not really looking to change your role as such, but you want to be like, guys, you need to increase my salary. People who have ABCD at a minimum, and especially like ACC, and especially if you're in accounting, when you become chartered, for sure your salary is meant to hike, because there's a bare minimum that's expected when you are chartered. So there's the element of increasing your salary. But then also it opens up doors for you for roles that maybe would have been out of scope for you if you didn't do the certification. I'll give you an example. I have an audit background, risk and controls background. And the typical path for me is to continue on rising in that career path and maybe become a partner of risk, or even if I'm in industry, I could be the head of risk or head of audit. Yeah, that's a typical career path. However, I made a shift last year and I shifted to strategy, tech strategy. And the main reason for that is I am envisioning myself becoming a CIO, CTO, and God please hear these prayers. Recruiters hear these prayers. And for me to get closer to the C-suite, I felt I needed, a different perspective of IT other than compliance, risk and compliance and all of that, which is super important. Security, IT security is super important. It's not the only thing. So I wanted to change and get into a role that looks at a different part of what's expected when it comes to managing tech for an organization. I don't think I would have been able to make that shift smoothly and seamlessly as I did if I didn't have my bag of certifications that I have right now. Because that just helps them feel more confident in you that you have transferable skills. I'll give you an example. I didn't need to do COBIT or ITIL. In my previous role, I did them. And when I was doing them, I didn't know they would help me get the role I have right now, or they would be so relevant to the type of work I'm doing right now. So sometimes you do certifications, we probably think you'll never use them, and you end up using them. So I would encourage you, maybe because you probably don't have an unlimited budget or even your employer, if you're getting an employer, because I got my employer to sponsor a lot of them, not all of them. I sponsored my own ACCA, but CISA they sponsored and a few others. ITIL, COVID, all those are sponsored. So maybe to get your employer to sponsor some of those certifications, you need to have a business case. So you need to show how is it relevant, how it's going to help you in your role. So with limitations like that, you probably want to create your foundation in what you're doing right now, especially if you see yourself there for the next 5 years, 3 to 5 years. Make sure you do the certifications relevant for that make you better to your role. Then if you're looking to maybe move out, then that's when you look at, for that envisioned role that I'm looking towards, what type of certification will help me get there. So there's two lenses to it. You probably don't want to be doing something outside of what you're doing right now, and when you try and explain to your employer, they're like, but why do you need it? You probably want to get the ones that make you better to your job right now. And then if you are looking to leave or change roles, or you're just looking to expand your scope, you've already, bagged the key ones, then you can, look at the other ones. But the best way, I hope I haven't gone off on a trajectory, but the best way to know the certifications that you need, check the role that is closest to what you're doing right now, or the role that you want. It could be both, because it could be you don't like your job right now. Check the role that you want or you're in. See what they ask there as. They probably don't ask it as an essential, they just say as good to have. Those certifications there, get them. Those are the ones that will help set you apart when you are maybe looking to change employers, looking to get a promotion. It just legitimizes your case. And there's nothing that hurts you from, knowledge doesn't hurt. It will always become relevant at some point. It might not make sense now, but it always becomes relevant. And it just changes your way of thinking. When you know something, you can't pretend that you don't. So it helps you contribute more and more in your team, in your life, even in your own personal businesses. You could be wanting to set up your own thing, and when you get to know what good practice looks like, it will help you. So yeah, I have covered in depth about why you should do a certification, so I hope you get started on one today. In terms of what I want to do next, because I'm looking towards more transformation type of roles, strategy manager, transformation manager type of, that's the short-term career I'm looking at. I am keen to get project management certifications. So far I have my foundation in risk and controls. I have my foundation in accounting, ACCA, and I've touched a bit on ITIL is somehow related, but I do want to just legitimize my project management experience, and I am looking more towards agile because that's where the future is. So agile type of certification. So I'm looking at leading safe, and also certified. I'm deciding whether I should do certified Scrum Master or certified product owner. So I'm still deciding between those two, but leading safe is definitely more priority than the other two. I have done project management internal training, because kind of like when you're in consulting, you are project managing in one level or another. You're always scoping, you're always working against timelines, tracking the deliverables. So you do our own mini project management in our daily day-to-day. But I want to legitimize it, because if I am to manage huge projects or a portfolio for a client, which is where I'm heading towards, I do need to show them that I can do it on paper. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I did start cloud certification, so I did AWS Cloud Practitioner, and I was looking to do the fundamentals for the other two, so for Google Cloud and also for Azure. That's also in the works, but I would say project management is currently higher priority for me compared to being cloud savvy is important, but because I'm deviating more from delivery to more management of project management, I guess you can say, I would say that one is what I'll put more emphasis on. But I will still continue being cloud savvy. I will still get the fundamentals for the other two. And yeah, we'll see where life takes us. Who knows, my next life update, I might be telling you I've done something completely different. So I'm open. Just be flexible. See what's trending, see what's needed. And yeah, get the bag. If you have any questions, and even then, not even just questions, I'm keen to know what qualification you're working towards right now, if any, or if you haven't started, what are you thinking about? Because you know what, you might influence what I go for next. Cheers, see you in the next one. Bye.